Hey everybody, it's Meester Tweester, and we have 10 Words of Wisdom 24B. It's been 4 years since I've made responses, and I'm kind of scared to watch this after waiting so long, but let's go.
Hey everyone, use your gastronymiuses to run over here as quickly as possible, because it's time for TWOW 24B.
I'm not gonna do that, because the plural of that word is gastronymii.
Okay, fine. Use your gastronymii to run
Nice intro in 3D. And Meester Tweester. Why must be eliminated? Oh no.
That amazingly cinematic intro showing our 3 finalists was made by Feisty. Anyway, yes, it's time for TWOW 24B, the first TWOW episode I've made since I switched editing softwares from Sony Vegas Pro to Adobe Premiere. Hello, my Adobe overlord. If you're a new KH viewer and you're not quite sure what this whole 10 Words of Wisdom situation is, you can watch TWOW 0A for an excellent summary. But in short, 10 Words of Wisdom is a game show on YouTube with hundreds of contestants. Each episode, I give the contestants a prompt, which they have to respond to in 10 words or fewer. Then the general public votes on those responses anonymously, from best to worst, and the contestants whose responses score the lowest get eliminated. Rinse and repeat until there's only one winner left. Next on the agenda, Jacob the Person made this charming Super Paper Mario themed intro that you just gotta see.
Super Paper Mario. Oh no. What's up with that? Looks like the FBI.
That was super sweet. I love TWOW intros. Now there were a few more intros, but I don't have time to show them all, so wait for the fan art section at the end to see them all. So one reason it took so long for this episode to come out was that the laptop I used for college, a Microsoft Surface Pro 3, literally blue screen of death on me several months ago. And it held 90% of the files I'd used to make TWOW. You might think, OMG, that sounds scary, but secretly, I had a hunch that the files were safe. It was just the operating system that was borked. So for months and months, that fried laptop just sat on the corner of my desk. And I thought to myself that if I ever took it to an expert, they could probably retrieve the files for me, but I just thought it wasn't worth it during a panny. Anyway, the saving grace was when I realized I had Backblaze running in the background of all my computers downloading my files this whole time. So this April, I just asked Backblaze to send me a backup of that entire hard drive, and here it was. So that's the second time Backblaze has saved my ass. And no, this is not sponsored, I'm just eternally grateful. I also want to tell you guys that last December, Meester Tweester and around 10 other TWOWers recorded this celebration video for TWOW hitting its 5th anniversary. I want to give a big thank you to all those people in the video because your messages were so heartfelt and heartwarming, and you really sort of let me know how much the TWOW community affected your real lives, which is just crazy. Fast forwarding to now, and it's currently June, which is Pride Month. So we've got this online community with BFDI/TWOW/computer science or whatever, and I just wanted to say I'm super grateful that all of y'all are so accepting and supportive of all LGBTQ identities. Keep up the good work. Anyway, back to the TWOW competition. Right now, we're looking at the final 3 contestants of the original 491. Meester Tweester, Midnight Light, and Yasoin. You guys, these contenders are the cream of the crop, since they outlasted over 99% of their rivals. Back in 2017, they submitted 2 entries each to the 24th TWOW prompt, which was, how does a TWOW contestant prepare for the
Senior year
finale.
of high
Yes,
school?
that was before every single BFB episode, and before a single 4fan even existed, which is mind-blowing. But anyway, after TWOW 24A came out, you luscious Carry KH viewers sent in your votes on which ones you thought were the best or the worst. How many votes,
Was
you may
also-
ask? Well, the previous record was set last
Well, I was
time with
17.
2,342 voters. This time, 9,202 people cast 9,346 votes, which means we nearly quadrupled the voter base. That means that out of everyone who's ever voted
did
on
it.
any TWOW episode, I'd wager that there's over a 50% chance that they voted on TWOW 24 and no other episode. Weird, right? My reach goal would be to maybe hit that 5-digit mark for the TWOW finale, but it might be a bit too far out of reach. We'll see. Anyway, like always, we'll reveal how each TWOWer did in the order they placed last time. So,
is,
because
one
Yasoan
second,
ruled the
I
leaderboard in
guess.
TWOW 23, he's up first. In response to how does a TWOW contestant prepare for the finale, he said,
Oh my
previous
God.
responses are considered, then improved. Creativity is neatly
I
generated.
forgot.
You might have
The
noticed
other
that response is an acronym for the word practicing. PRACTICING, which is also a valid answer to this question. So we've got some double meanings going on here. He also said, by not forgetting to respond to the penultimate TWOW prompt, which I can assuredly say all living TWOWers followed that advice. Few. As a quick reminder, for each of the 3 finalists, only their highest scoring response will count, and the lowest performer will be eliminated this episode. Anyway, what did the over 9,000 voters think of that entry?
Oh, I might be good.
Oh, they rated it as better than 47.23%
get
of other
better than
responses on
47.
average. That's slightly
Yeah.
below the 50 midpoint, but I wouldn't rule out any possible outcome just yet. I mean, that score is higher than the grade I got on my last math exam. Next up is the brilliant Meester Tweester, who speedrun many of my old Flash games, and
Nice.
participated in Minecraft
That's
live
third
streams
place
with
now.
me and Catherine. Anyway,
Because
this
of
sun
poison
god
and
said,
average.
only talk in sentences with 10 words. Practice makes perfect. Which sounds like solid advice. If it weren't for the fact that you broke your own rule in your last 2 confessionals. Hypocrite. I'm just kidding, of course. His second response was, observe astronomy. The finalist could be the sun and the moon.
I like
which
that
is
one.
also relevant because in the
Yeah.
real world, we just had a super flower blood moon total lunar eclipse a few days ago. And I
thought that
recorded
one would've been
masterful
better,
footage
but-
of it.
I guess I'm always surprised by what people.
This is such a
the
bad
voters
streak.
think.
Okay, enough talk. What did the voters
Okay.
think of MT's entries?
Well, no. I know I can get over it.
54.67%, meaning that Meester Tweester is our first guaranteed TWOW finalist. Congratulations.
Let's
Either
go.
Yasoan or Midnight Light will join you into the
Alright.
TWOW finale. Speaking of Midnight
Who
Light,
is it
who is
gonna
also
be?
the lunar lady Moon that Meester wrote about, what did she have to say to the prompt? How does a true TWOW contestant prepare for the finale? She said, sleep on TWOWers' books to absorb their knowledge via osmosis.
Nothing else.
I mean, I've seen those gifs of kids trying out that very technique, and who knows, maybe those kids grew up to become the valedictorians of their grade. Also, I know I shouldn't show my own preferential treatment, but ML's lower voter response is actually my favorite. That is just brutal in the best way possible. But will you end up in that coffin, or will Yasoan? It all depends on the minds of those 9,202 mysterious judges who have silently cast their fingers up or down, lifting you into glory or condemning
What
you
if I
to
got
eternal
first
elimination.
in
What did they
24?
think? Well, if ML scores above
Yes.
47.23%, she will make the final 2. But if she
Well,
falls
how's the
below,
song
Yasoan will make the final 2. Oh my god,
So-
Arrow, just show us the results. I'm bursting at the seams with anticipation.
Is it gonna be? Is it gonna be Sun and Moon or me and Sun? But you got first, I guess. Oh my god.
Midnight Light is safe.
Oh, yeah, Sun's out.
Goodbye, Yasoan. It is such a tragedy to finally lose the first ever victor of a TWOW round. You introduced
Yeah,
us to the concept of TWOW fame, but now you must also introduce us to the fact that not all TWOW fame can last. I'm also always inspired by your non-TWOW achievements too. such as game development. That's a field I have massive respect for and hope to rejoin myself someday. But this eulogy isn't about me, it's about you. So everyone follow Yasoan on Twitter and Twitch. Yasoan, I can only hope you enjoyed your 5+ year stay as a true power twower. And now, I hope you can rest in peace well too. Wait, hold on. Meester Tweester said the final two would be the sun and the moon, meaning himself and Midnight Light. And that proved to be correct. But he didn't have that knowledge beforehand. Is Meester Tweester able to tell the future?
Yes.
Maybe the gravitational pull of a celestial body is just so strong it warps space-time and lets you see into the future, who knows?
No,
Okay, so that was all just a very suspenseful results reveal. But here's the more calming and statistical results chart. Midnight Light, you killed it this time. Your 2 responses actually ranked higher than anybody else's responses, which is the first time that's ever happened. That's like the equivalent of a 300-point bowling game or Nadia Comaneci's Perfect 10 in gymnastics. I will call this phenomenon TWOW's clean sweep, aka a tween sweep, or a clean tweep, or a clean twoop, or a clown tweet. I'm just gonna give up. It's just impressive, that's all. Especially after 2 underdog performances you've pulled out on top. Oh, I almost forgot. The prize for getting first in a round is now 3 mentions. So let me do that. Midnight Light, Midnight Light, Midnight Light. Now look at those scrumptiously smooth voter rating distributions. There were enough votes that every response was placed into every bucket at least 788 times.
People didn't like my sun and moon response. Oh well. My other one did good. Yeah, I'm surprised that's like a straight up one to the red. And then mine kind of swooped. Mine are always the highest standard deviation. Oh my gosh, I did it again. I have the highest standard deviation again. Yeah, somehow I'm like the master of standard deviation.
So this response was ranked 3rd over 700 times. This response was ranked 5th over 700 times. You get the point. And wow, that is just a lot to wrap your mind around. But it's the ratios of how often they got placed into each bucket that determined the game's outcome, such as Midnight's top response being ranked 1st 2.34 times more often than last, and Yasoan's bottom response being ranked last 2.57 times more often than 1st. Again, Yasoan, that's totally not a dig at you. You're arguably one of the strongest TWOW contestants to date, and one of only 2 to win first 4 times. Things are just crazy competitive nowadays, to date, and one of only
So this is, so now me and Midnight both have 3. One of us
2
is
to win first 4 times. Things are just crazy competitive nowadays. Also, the only 2 VRDs that had any sort of concavity to them, meaning high standard deviation, got that way because of their controversiality, splitting the audience's perceptions in 2. Now this one I can understand because those who noticed the acronym would be like, whoa, that's clever, whereas those who didn't would just be like, that's kind of bland. So perception deviation.
Oh, my standard deviation wasn't. Was that the 31? Oh, so that was the lowest, actually. Okay, so just think of the
got that way
opposite
because of their controversiality, splitting the audience's perceptions in 2. Now this one I can understand because those who noticed the acronym would be like, whoa, that's clever, whereas those who didn't would just be like, that's kind of bland, so they'd vote very differently. It could also be because most TWOW 24 voters weren't around during TWOW 8, the acronym round. But this one? What do you mean it's controversial? Literally everyone loves coffins, am I right? Caitlin Doty told me so. 2 more fun or not so fun facts. Yasoan is the first TWOWer to be eliminated 1 round after winning first place. Yasoan's also the first TWOWer that we can definitively give him a colored medal, a bronze medal. Congratulations! Moving on to TWOW predictions. It's sad to see Yasoan drop, but at the same time, Meester Tweester scores an achievement no one else ever has. Over a 50% chance of winning the whole season based on past performance. Of course, that 51-49 split is so close, it's essentially even odds with Midnight Light. So I wouldn't go around placing bets with your friends over these things, and Midnight, you have just as good a chance of winning as Meester.
To summarize, here's who's still in and who's eliminated. If you're eliminated, you won't be able to send me any more responses for upcoming TWOW Season 1 prompts.
by now.
With that all being said, it's finally time to move on to TWOW 25. Literally the grand finale of this entire season. What's the final TWOW prompt? Well, it's baked into the name of this show. What are the 10 words of wisdom? That's it. That's the prompt to end all prompts. And Meester Tweester and Midnight Light, you two get to submit 3 responses to this because it is the most important question. And as always, only your highest performing response will count. Send me your responses over Discord or Twitter or email or any other way by July 11th, 2021 at 10 p.m. UTC.
Okay.
I'm giving you guys over a month because I know it's been a super long time since the last response submission, and I know you might not be as active online anymore, so I want to make sure you have time to see that this video was even uploaded. And you can also include confessionals or final book changes or anything else you want to say to me as TWOW wraps up once and for all. And I also realize there's a lot of pressure on you two with this being the finale and all. So I hope I can calm your nerves a bit by just saying, no matter what happens, you both performed so incredibly well and beat so many incredible odds and contributed so much to the TWOW community that we're honestly just super grateful you've done as much as you've done. So no stress, you've already made it. But now that the final TWOW prompt has been leaked to the public, it's time to look at TWOW 24B's fan art, which all you amazing fans have drawn over the last 9 or 10 months. It's so beautiful.
Connect 12. Okay, we got 3 minutes of this. I think I saw all these. Oh, the office standoff there. Oh, I like that one. Oh, I like that one too. I like that one. I like the cardboard one. I like the one that was just shown. I like that one. I like that one. That one. Oh, will fall. I like that one. Playing the cards. Meester Tweester rises to the occasion. Wait. Meester Tweester rises to the occasion. There. YouTube? What did YouTube do? It's very nice drawing of EP rolls. I like that one.
Finally, we have 3 more fan-made intros by Redostone35, Tariff the Ferret, and the Unwatched YouTuber. They're all about a minute long, so I'm going to play them simultaneously. This should be fun.
We started out with hundreds and now only 3 remain. Next episode we get to see who plummets into 3rd place. Time to see who will get 3rd place will be. Meester Tweester, the Sun Kid represents America. Da 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 da.
Sun Kid represents America.
Yeah, he represents Australia. Da 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 da.
Meester
Like the
Tweester,
only
the Sun
thing
Kid.
that represents
Country,
the
United
British
States.
people. Yeah. You get their place was just me in
The shirt song, yeah. Meester Tweester forwarded that to poll many times. I feel wiggly arms. 1224B.
Anyway, see you all in TWOW 25A. Bye!
And that's it. that's the TWOW 24B. Yeah, guess I'll get working on my finale responses. Alright, yeah, guess I'm gonna end the video. Alright, bye. And thanks, Gary, for watching my video, too.